Hopefully I don't die on screen, but if I do, this video will get 1 million views. All right, so yes, you guys see me looking at analytics, and I'm going to share these analytics that I'm looking at. You'll see Uber on the screen, but let's not get into it yet. Let's talk about yesterday first. Recap of yesterday's live stream if you joined me. Past 4 Mondays, low volume. What did we see yesterday? Low volume. Past 4 Mondays, 3 to 3.5 point range on the SPY. What did we see yesterday? 317.36 on the low, 320.39 on the high. What is that? 3 points. So it's matching the previous 4 weeks. So when I tell you about history, patterns, please listen. All right, now let's get into the lesson. I've got the 3 S's to share with everybody today. What are the 3 S's? Slow, steady, and safe. That is how I'd like you to grow your account. Slow, steady, and safe. And I'm going to give you an example of how compounding works. I love math. You all know that. So let's talk about how to safely turn a little money into a lot of money. Me, I'm starting my account with $1,500 as I showed people. By the end of the year, I'm looking to have $9,000. So $1,500 to $9,000, 500% return. How can I get a 500% return making 1%? All right, so that's easy. 1%. I want to make 1% a day. I don't care if it's stocks or options. Yesterday, I went into a banking stock that I mentioned is rebounding. PacWest, PACW. I secured 2.18% profit yesterday. Where is it this morning? PacWest is up to $8 from the $6 range I entered. So yes, I left a lot of money on the table, but that's not part of the example. Part of the example is slow, steady, and safe. So make 1% a day for 180 trading days, which is the remainder of this year's trading days, 180 days. Now, you don't have to make 1% a day. If you make 4% in a stock, you don't have to trade for 4 days. You need to wait 2 days for your stock to settle because you're not playing options. Great. You're in an options trade. You make 40%, but you used only a quarter of your account. That's a 10% net gain. You don't have to trade for 3, 4, 5 days. You could wait for proper entry. So again, 1% on average per day compounded for the 180 days we have remaining for the trading days for the year will turn you into a 5%, 500% profit. And it's safe. It's safe. For example, I got into ZIM, Z-I-M, and it tanked. It went from $14.80 to like $14.14 this morning. Am I upset? Yeah, I'm upset, but it's stock only. So I understand that position is going to hold until I turn my profit. A little bit of a bag holder there. No worries, because I know how ZIM reacts. Now, a lot of you have trading, have real jobs. Trading is a side hustle. You just don't have time. Sometimes you join me in the morning. Sometimes you're busy. You're taking your kids to school. You have other things going on. So it's the same is true with trading. When you're not have focus to trade, you don't trade. All right, I spoke about the SPY range yesterday. The only reason we saw a little heavier volume, which was 60 million yesterday, is because there was fake news coming out around, 9:48, 9:58 a.m. for about 12 minutes. There was a mention of an explosion near the Pentagon. Complete bullshit. What happened? The market took a downturn, went back up. Again, if you remove that 12 million from the volume, we're at one of the latest volume days all year. Mentioned a couple stocks yesterday. I mentioned Rivian. Looked like it had strong support. It ran 5.64% yesterday, or 76 cents. I mentioned it could go as high as 15. It follows the same pattern as the Palantir after earnings and a couple other stocks. I also, if you saw on my screen, I've got Uber up there. Why? Because Uber calls are being bought. So I am watching Uber, and I'll explain that chart. But first, one more lesson and a couple of things about what we're looking for today. So first, debt ceiling. In 2011, the last time we had this debt ceiling issue, that the debt ceiling needed to be raised, negotiations started 3 full months before the debt ceiling needed to be raised, before the U.S. government ran out of money. This time, we're starting 4 weeks in advance. So I'm a little nervous. All right, this morning, numbers coming out. Dallas Fed is speaking at 9 a.m. We've got S&P Flash U.S. Services PMI at 9:45. S&P U.S. Manufacturing PMI, 9:45, and then 10 a.m. new home sales. So I will be watching carefully 9:45 and 10 a.m. to see how the market reacts. Interesting, we're seeing the market tank a little because 10 minutes right before close, we had about $3 million of calls come sweeping across on the SPY. So someone was making a large bet that we could potentially gap up this morning or that will be strong this morning. Now, here's an important lesson, and I'll slow it down. For anybody that's struggling in the market, you have a small account, a few hundred, you have a larger account, 10,000. Here's what I got to tell you. Focus on the positives. I don't care what position you're in, XYZ stock, your account's down. It doesn't matter. You've got to focus on what you can do to improve your situation. Now, as humans, we all tend, and if you don't do this, more power to you, to focus on the negatives, right? We make two trades. One's a great trade. One's a terrible trade. The great trade, we're like, all right, congratulations, Matt. You made a great trade. The terrible trade, all you do is beat yourself up. What an idiot you are. How could you get involved with that stock? You knew it was going to go down. You were taking a risk. You're a dumbass. So we all focus and talk badly to ourselves about the negative trades where we don't give ourselves enough credit on the positive trades. That's just human nature. A lot of people like to look at the cup half empty rather than half full. Me, I like to see my accounts and go, okay, well, here's my starting point for today. What can I do to improve my position? Right. So hopefully you guys will have that light bulb moment. Stop harping on the negatives. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Let's focus on the positives. It will improve your trading. Mention the sweeps. JPM's Investor Day. McCarthy, don't want to talk about that. Don't want to talk about that. Zoom had earnings. Interesting. They had a double beat. Guided up slightly. They were up 5%. I don't know where Zoom is now. It's probably flat a little pre-market. All right, so let's get out of that. Let's start with what I do on a daily basis. I go on to Discord to evaluate the market, and here's exactly what I do. So I'll just share with you my morning routine. If you have any questions, please ask questions. If you want me to look up your stocks or ETFs and want to look at the dark pool, please let me know. All right, so the first thing I looked at yesterday or this morning, first of all, people are using this in the middle of the night. So understand, if you're part of Discord, you want to follow NVIDIA. What do we see? Ton of negative action. Someone looked at this at 3 a.m. Puts versus calls. Sweeps. Sweeps means they swept them all. A means ask. B, below bid. They got in cheap. It was a morning trade. But most of them are ask, which is a very negative sentiment on NVIDIA. You're seeing the same thing on Amazon. Again, I didn't do these searches, but these are what some people are looking up. What searches did I do? I wanted to see the net flow of the market. So the net flow of the market tells me all the calls, all the puts, and the price of the SPY. Where's the market at? So you can see the white line is the price of the SPY. What do? We range trade 420, 417. Here's your 3 points. It happened early in the morning. Any dip could be bought. Any spike can be sold. Any dip could be bought. Any spike can be sold. So if we're range trading, there's your strategy. Find the top puts. Find the bottom calls. I'm not telling you have to be bullish or bearish. So that's your net flow for the market. Then I'll look at the algo flow of the market. Now, I'm not seeing any divergence yet, so I'll have to look at this maybe around 10:30 in the morning. What would this mean? You see a divergence if the algos are telling you the price should be 420 and the SPY is sitting at 418, or vice versa. Say the SPY gets bought up to 419 and the algos are telling you it should be at 417. You'll see a divergence. We're not seeing that this morning, so I'm not using that tool. Next, I want to look at the net flow of the SPY. So what did I notice? I noticed probably around, 2 o'clock yesterday, call premiums were going up. Towards the very end of the day, put premiums were coming down as the SPY dropped and was hovering right around 419. Again, we saw a ton of call options come in. So if I'm saying to myself, I'm going to be bearish today or bullish today, I haven't decided. I actually have a reason to be both. I saw the call flows come in on the SPY end of day, gives me a reason to be bullish. I'm looking at the net premiums going up for calls, could be bullish. Net premiums for puts going down, could be bullish. However, you could also flip it and say it could be bearish. Net premiums are still much higher than call premiums. So you can still look at the market both ways. Again, I'm having an open mind this morning. I'll look at the algo flows. Again, they're pretty much in the same. We saw the price of the SPY, which would be in the yellow, come down and finish right here. Whereas the algorithms at the end of the day were telling you can get a pop. So that's probably why someone took a $3 million wager on SPY calls. How does that play out today? Again, too early to tell. And then I noticed, I guess we're still talking about SPY. I looked at the dark pool levels. Again, they're almost insulting us because this dark pool level keeps growing at 411, but the SPY doesn't make it down there at all. It hasn't even touched 413, 414. We're range trading before 418 and 421. Where is the next level down? Well, you're seeing 418.21, and the SPY is currently sitting at. That's a good question because I've got Uber up. Let's see where the SPY is sitting at. SPY is sitting at 418 flat. Okay, we went under that. But let's remember, what kind of support have we shown on the SPY? 418 has been support. When we look at Discord, where could support be? 418.24. So I'm really going to focus on that 418 level. If we break it, then I expect to see support at 416.53. Although this is kind of a ghost zone. So again, the next level down, 414.83. So I'll give you my scenarios just using the dark pool levels. See how it plays out today. All right. So again, yesterday, smaller range, lower volume. We generally see that on Monday and Tuesday. So we'll give you the scenario. Most likely scenario is we're going to trade the same range as yesterday. We're already at the 418 range. We'll see if we have support. If we don't, then you're going to see a potential drop to 415, and it could get ugly. Do I think that's going to be happening? I zoom out. If it wasn't for these debt ceiling concerns, I'm zooming out. I already know they're still consistently buying the market. So I would say, okay, 418 plus or minus 20 cents, 417.80. If we go under that, I think we're going to see 415 and change. Okay, there's your bear case scenario. I need to tick under that for me to believe things will get worse. If we're going to tick under that, what could happen? We could definitely pop back up to 418.78 on open, maybe 419. If we reject that, we don't even get as high as 420, then yes, I think we'd go down to the 417, possibly 416 range. Again, we need to spike off open or get bought up off open and then sell off. If I'm going to give you your bull case scenario, well, we're already seeing it. We're dropping down. We're at like 418 pre-market. Let me just get rid of this real quick. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. SPY, bring it up. StreamYard, let's add it. And I'll go over it one more time now that you all can see it with me. All right, so we're just under 418. You can see pre-market. I've got the 5-minute chart, which gives me the full day of yesterday. Again, here was the sell-off off the fake news. So when I look and I discount the fake news and I'm like, okay, look where the drop was. Where do we find support? Right at 418. If I want to go back even a little longer and include a couple more days, again, I really want to focus on that 418 level. And we haven't seen that since the massive buying when we dipped to the 415.50 level. So again, I mentioned if we drop past that 418, where would I expect the next level to be? Right in this range, 415.68, 415.79. I really don't find us hitting that level today. Again, just my pre-market assumption. Could it easily drop a full point from yesterday? Sure, but volume has to be strong. And without strong volume, we're more than likely to range trade. So let me go back to that 5-minute chart. And again, just looking at the volume from yesterday, day before, let's go 15. We saw the volume pick up right around the 415.50. So if we're going to range trade today, I might look at this level right here, right around here. 416.84, so just under 417. And where would I like to go up to? We won't go up to all the way 420, but we'll go about just under 420. So it's possible we go 419.80 to 416.80 today. Something to like that, a 3-point range. It makes sense with what we've seen the past Mondays and Tuesdays, dating back 4 weeks, okay? But again, a lot is on the table, and what you'll see if there's debt ceiling progress made and you hear McCarthy or Biden or other House representatives or senators come out with support of the plan, that the market will likely spike. Shorts will likely be squeezed. So when I'm looking at short stocks that could squeeze, we've seen a bunch of squeezes. I mentioned yesterday morning that Upstart was on my list, that I'm looking for Upstart to finally turn around. Doesn't mean I'm getting into puts for Upstart yet. It means they're just on my watch list. Now I'm seeing Uber rip up, man, like 2% pre-market, 1.8, 1.71. Again, I'm not chasing. Uber at $39 is great. Uber at $39.84, not happy about entry, and I won't get entry there. There's no reason to chase, especially pre-market, especially without knowing. However, I already know, in my opinion, that Uber wants to go up. So, I mean, Uber can technically retract all the way down to, 39 would be a great entry for me, even a little 38.90, something like that. Again, I won't force a trade, so I'm okay with waiting. I've got Micron Technology up here, right? Semiconductor company. AMD and NVIDIA pull them up. I happen to know a lot of people want to short Micron, buy puts on Micron. I haven't touched it because I'm not following NVIDIA, AMD, Micron, STX. I'm not really into the chip makers. Then I'm looking at the SPY, of course. SPY sitting at where we're sitting pre-market, right? Almost just under 418. Again, key level or key assumption today, 416.90 to 419.90. That would be my prediction. What does that mean? When I see support just under 417, if we make it there, I will buy calls. If we happen to get bought up and we reject just under 419 or just under 420, whatever it may be, then I'll get back into puts. Again, I could buy puts at the top, calls at the bottom, as long as I'm seeing support with volume, because I believe we're going to be range trading. Range trading means chop. So when you're trading chop, doesn't matter what you're in. When you're on the high side of your option and you're like, I'm up 43%, it's okay to sell. Experience the chop. When it goes back down, if you want to re-enter the position, congratulations. You just saved. You're up 40%. Instead of being back to even, you take that 40%, you wait for your option price to go back down. And if you want to re-enter, re-enter. It's a great way to roll out your options. Again, Upstart, I mentioned. I've got the materials sector up here. Why? Because if the market's going to go down, materials are going to get hurt. So this is kind of a tracker for me. It's the XLB. Now, materials will include, copper stocks, steel stocks, any material plays. So again, I was looking for a turnaround. Hasn't happened yet. I've got Alibaba on here. Why? Because again, when I zoom out and look at the 1 month chart, okay, 1 month chart looks like you're doing a little recovery for Alibaba. Where is it pre-market? It is off pre-market at 84.86. So it's off over $1, which I would say is about 1.31%. Again, when I look at the 5-day chart, I'm looking at a potential cup and handle. So if we go back up to this level, even here, not off the spike, then we're talking about, an $88 range. So if I'm in at $85 flat and I get $88, that's like a 3% move. 3% move in the options world would be about 35 to 40%. So again, keeping my eye on a trade. It goes on my list of trades that I'm potentially making today. I've got 3 or 4 trades that I list out for myself that I'm looking at. Bull trades, yes, 2 of them. Bear trades on the market, yes, 2 of them. Have I decided? No. So it's easy. You don't have to make a decision. You don't have to get anxious about making a trade or predetermining what you're going to do today. Got Walmart, Bank of America, because I thought Bank of America still had a bit of a run in her. I sold yesterday. My options are probably up 10% since I sold. I was looking for it to pull back and I would get back involved because I do think the banking sector is showing strength. Starbucks is showing weakness. Energy is interesting. Okay, Intel. Notice Intel. Intel has a nice curve. Again, Intel's following. You got NVIDIA. You got AMD. So I'm going to watch Intel, NVIDIA, AMD, Micron. I'm not very familiar with the chip section. What'd you do yesterday? You had 50% on a Meta calls. That's awesome. Hit the like button. Not for her, for me. If you like what I'm doing this morning, please join me tomorrow morning. Hit the like button. Share the video. What do we got? Here's a link for Discord if anybody needs it. So they saw what I was looking at. What do I think of GameStop? I mean, I haven't looked at GameStop in forever. I mean, the GameStop short interest is crazy. Wow. GameStop's actually going up with some demand. I mean, I really don't know. The crazy thing about GameStop is, so when you look at the 3-month chart, they were selling into earnings. Where are we at GameStop? We're back at the earnings pop level. Extremely important. Why? Because if any stock does this after earnings, sells off, consolidates, look at Netflix. Netflix is still in the consolidation process. But I would say, if it's going to run, where could GameStop run? Another 10% up to 28.25 before it rejects. Okay, so it still can run a little higher. However, I hate to chase, and I wouldn't be chasing GameStop. All right, Fredo, what do you got here, man? Meta, moving to new highs again this week. Okay, so let's remember Meta play. Meta went to 244 after earnings. I said expect consolidation. It might go back to 235 or 236. It actually pulled back Meta to 232 and then subsequently spiked higher than the earnings number. Remember, because the earnings on Meta took it up to 244. So we went 244 all the way down to 232. And here's after, so it's looking similar to your GameStop. We can even do the 1 month. Again, what are you seeing? Volume, inflow. But if technology gets hit, Meta will get hit. Meta has the ability. I mean, if the markets get, shitted on, Meta's going down. But if not, if you're looking at the 1 month chart, I mean, this chart is straight up. So what are people doing? Meta dips. They're buying Meta option calls. They might go out a month, 2 month. Meta keeps going up. Again, I like smaller plays. Let's go to the beginning. So people that were here first. I called it, brother. I know it was going to go up a little bit past 420 and then come right back. Didn't pull the trigger because I was waiting for it to hit multiple times. Yeah, that's a great post you made. Okay, so we all know that we were looking for the spot to go to 420 and then reject, and we're going to trade a 3-point range yesterday, which I mentioned pre-market. So 420.39, 417.39. What if you missed it? What if we saw that drop at 9:58 p.m. a.m., which is pretty substantial off that fake news about Pentagon, an explosion near the Pentagon? Then you missed it. You don't have to chase. Well, then can you change your strategy and buy calls? Not if you're bearish on the market. If you're a bear and you missed your entry, then you wait. Maybe you wait half a day. Maybe you wait 1 day. Maybe you wait a day and a half to get back into a trade that you're looking to enter. You don't fight it and you don't change your strategy. What are you saying, man? Did it once, knew it was going to do it again. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. S&P futures look like they're dumping. Straight dump for the day? No. Zoom out on the market. Zooming out, they're still buying the dips. You're still seeing support. We saw support on the SPY. 404, then 408, then 410, then 412, 414. Where are we now? Even if the market is off pre-market and we're sitting at under 418, 417.71, we've seen support at 418. So where can the next line of support be? 416, but I'm not even sure we go that low. I'm seeing support right around here, 417. If I was going to find support right around here, we're 415.57. Again, I don't foresee us losing this whole momentum swing from this volume. If I was going to guess and pick a point, I would say probably around 417 flat. I mean, right there, plus or minus 20 cents. So again, maybe you see, and I mentioned this number before, 416.90. If I see the bottom at 416.90, even if it doesn't happen instantaneously, I think we're going up to 419.90, which would be close enough to 420 before we reject. So these are some numbers I'm focusing on today. I will look at Meta for you. So where do I see Meta going on highs? I would have to use the dark pool level. So let me remove this. Let me stop sharing screen. Again, it's just serious questions. You guys are asking serious questions. I don't want to just be passe about them, be like, oh, well, Meta should be this or that. I want to give you some factual reasoning on why you could either have support for Meta or why you could be against Meta and believe Meta is going down. So let's look at the net flow for Meta. Let's look at the algo flow. The algo flow for Meta. Let's look at the flow sum. Flow sum for Meta. And I'll explain what all these, well, damn it, there's not enough. All right, let's look at the dark pool level. DP levels for Meta. All right. So I'm looking at Meta. What am I going to do? Shit, man. Someone else is looking at crap too. Dude, Fredo, stop it. You're asking me a question. Meta, and Meta. So what am I seeing here? Well, shit. First thing you notice, net premiums for Meta. They're up here for the puts. Okay. Calls are down here in line with the stock price. This is telling you Meta is extremely bearish. How did you know that? Well, when everything was right in this range yesterday, it was telling you that. So Meta was what? 252, 251. You saw the costs and the premiums for puts going up, whereas you saw the premiums dropping for the calls. Saw a little bit of a reversion here, but then they fell off again. So again, yesterday, I would say this looks somewhat bearish. Then I want to look at the net flow. Okay, net flow is showing me something similar. Again, let me just go up here. Oh, net flow. I guess I didn't look at the algo flow. Okay, here's the algo flow. So the algo flow is telling me, okay, we got stock price up here. Algo's still telling me it should be a little lower. So again, that would be bearish. And my dark pool levels never came up. So let me see DP levels for Meta. That way I would know where potential support could be, and where, it might drop down and not find support, or it might find resistance. Wish it was working. TR. DP levels. Did I not spell it right? Yeah, DP. I guess I didn't because I keep E levels. DP levels. Meta. It helps to learn how to spell. Okay, so again, we're seeing kind of a ghost zone. Where could there be support? Right at the 245.24. So again, if Meta happens to go down, let's see where Meta closed at. 248.32. It's at 247 this morning, so it's off a point. So what am I looking at? The first dark pool level, I would see if Meta finds support at 238, 247.60. Okay? So we didn't, because we're under there. So where's the next level of support? 245.24. So we're still a point and a half away from that. So again, if the market's going to drop and we're going to see 416.90 on the SPY, then I'm thinking Meta could actually drop to 245.24. And again, this is only $1 billion dark pool level, kind of a ghost zone. So you've got 242. So really, Meta, in my opinion, if the market becomes bearish, no debt ceiling progress is made, new housing numbers shit on themselves at 10 a.m. Where can Meta pull back to? Yeah, I mean, 243, 242, 242 and change. Again, I'm hesitant, although I'm a bear, to take put positions because lately I've seen the market get bought up. So I need a confirmation that the market's really turning, that the market really doesn't think the government's going to get a job done. Because the market could be, and this is psychology, the market could be bearish. You could see it trading down, steps lower. Meta's getting a little beat up. Amazon's pulling back. Google's pulling back. Maybe NVIDIA. What's going to happen? Let's say they reach a debt ceiling deal. What's going to happen? The freaking market is going to spike up 1 or 2% just off that news. Now, it might get sold off right away. But imagine being in puts. You're like, I'm up 20%. I'm up 40%. I'm up 50%. All of a sudden, you're like, whoa, I'm back to even. What the hell happened? I'm going to hold because I know I was just up 50%. And then you hear that a debt ceiling news was done and the market's actually pushed higher. So please just trade costly, bull or bear. Be extremely cautious. Don't bet on the debt ceiling happening or not. What's the play for today? Again, yesterday my play was Rivian. Today I'm going to look at Uber. I'm going to wait for a pullback to get in calls, or if I see Uber reject, I don't think I'd get into puts. Do we have a seminar or group for learning? Yeah, I mean, other people that come on YouTube, other Twitter people, they have Discords. We have a Discord. It's right here, and it's part of Carlos, myself, Romeo, and Love. It's just not my platform, and we're all about learning. We're not about handing you a trade. Hey, buy some Prime Energy drink. That shit is great. No, it's like, hey, first evaluate the taste. Use the algorithms. Make sure that big money agrees with you. If you're not using algorithms, dark pool levels, unusual option activities, call sweeps, and you're just looking at your phone saying, I think Meta's going to go up or I think Meta's going to go down, then you're definitely trading the wrong way. And you might say to me, I'm only trading $250. Great. Well, our service, if you just want to sign up, is $25 or $35 if you want the updates in the trading chat and stuff like that. But we've got a number of lessons. In fact, you mentioned it. So let me just go up and show you. And I'll do it real quick because I know not everybody's interested in this. But we have the whole flows and analytics. So how to, flows, option sweeps, golden sweeps, tradie flow, dark pool levels, bullseye trades, scalps. So these are all tips to help you invest. Well, what about education? No one has education, Matt. Yes, we have a small account marathon. Here you go, education. Beginner questions that get answered. Beginner's guide, alert guide, rules of trading, lessons on chart reading, other lessons. Again, more lessons, more video lessons specifically done by members in our platform, and then people sharing YouTubes on what's helped them and where to see trade imbalances and inversions and gaps. Books, we've got thoughts on psychology. Okay, so there's enough going on there to help you. So yes, if you're interested in some type of learning group or platform. It's not about trading. You could paper trade. I don't give a shit. In fact, I suggest you paper trade if you're a newer trader. But yes, be part of a group, understand how to use these tools to improve your trading, even if it's paper trading, because that will emulate and that will turn into real money once you start trading accounts. Let me just see what other questions we have. Okay, there we go. What do I think of Plug? I haven't looked at Plug in a long time. Plug is a more speculative play. Let's just see what happened. I guess it pumped yesterday. However, it just got a price target cut. So here we go. Price target yesterday. Plug pumped on some decent volume. Again, you saw Rivian, you saw NIO, you saw Tesla run. So they're all moving together. What happens after a day like yesterday when you get to $9 a share? Somebody cuts the price target, Piper Sandler, to $8. What is that going to do? It's going to fuck with retail traders going, oh shit, price target $8. So it could be manipulation. They could be looking to get in to pump their position, right? While everybody's selling, saying it's going down to $8. So again, I wouldn't be in Plug. What do I think Palantir can pull back this week? No, I would stay away from Palantir if you're negative on Palantir. If anything, I would be bullish on Palantir. We saw earnings. It ripped to $10.20. Then after earnings, you saw consolidation when I entered my calls all the way to $9.40, $9.38. Then it ripped higher all the way to $11.80. I saw pre-market even when futures were down. Palantir was past 12. So again, volume last week on Palantir was double. So they're buying into Palantir at double the pace that they were trading it in recent weeks. So I would be extremely cautious. Again, we're talking about small banks here. So KRE, small banks, volatility with debt talks, $1 treasury sale, St. Petersburg Forum. Thoughts on KRE? Again, if you follow me, everybody's attention, in my opinion, psychologically, is being diverted to the debt ceiling, which is no one's worrying about run-on banks anymore, which is why I mentioned WAL the other day at like $27. Where is WAL? So, I mean, we're talking about small banks. Can they pull back? Sure, because they've been ripping. When I look at, and again, where's WAL? Here we go. WAL, it's up to what? $39 this morning. Where was it? I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Let's just go 5 days ago. In the last 5 days, it's up 24%. My favorite, PacWest Bancorp. Where's it up this morning? Close to $8. Where was my entry yesterday? $6.15. I sold at $6.42. I tried to get back in at $6.15. It went to $6.16. I never got my second trade executed. Yeah, Davey, no problem, man. I appreciate you joining me. Yeah, I don't want to be handed trades. I want to be able to make smart. Yeah, totally. Nobody wants to be handed trades. Some people are like, if you follow Twitter, they're like, hey, what's the next trade? And then people are talking about, hey, I gave this out. Man, I would love to give out a winner. If I had a crystal ball, I'd be like, I know for a fact Amazon is going up or Amazon's going down, and I gave you a specific price point. However, I trade, I give you my opinion. I let you know how I process the market. We have Trader Chat. What else do we offer? Let me just show you. So you have other people that are making trades. Where do we go? Member alerts. We've got to have member alerts right here. Here's Trading Chat. Here's the member alerts. So again, Tesla, this is what, from May 12th, could go to 285 next week. Shit, that wasn't Tesla. Where's Tesla? Anyway. All right, so yeah, Meta, got Meta, wait for it to go back up. Got some people put in their trades. He was calling Walmart down. Walmart went from 155 to what, 148. So Tesla, right there, Tesla 177.5 calls. If we can hold 177, where was Tesla yesterday? Right? These were a couple days ago, but Tesla went up. I got to like this one because it went up to 188. 180 was my target, so I sold. Came close before the dip. It ripped to 188. What did you get in? Amazon calls. I think he got shorted at, stopped out of this position yesterday when the market took dive. But again, there you go for today. Let's get rid of this. Appreciate everybody joining me. I'm heading over to Discord right now, and we'll get our morning video on. I'll give you specific ranges on the SPY, dark pool level, and we'll go from there. Please join me tomorrow morning. Thank you so much.